It's Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Wake up. Get your coffee. Let's get going. Let's make this an exciting week, my friends. Our House Mondays. I welcome you all. Who's the first person in the house to say hello? Lot of things happened. Lot of things have happened last week, and we need to talk about them, right? Firstly, I don't know if you guys read the piece in the New York Times that was written. It's an opinion piece written by Dara Roshawi. And honestly, I wanted to throw up in my mouth after I read that, because for someone who has misled, mistreated gig workers, drivers, etc., he has the audacity to write such a piece in the New York Times. And here it is. I am the CEO of Uber. Like a king. I am the CEO of Uber. Gig workers deserve better. You say this after being in business for what, 10 years? Now, funnily, he awoke and he had his coffee and he woke up out of his dream and said, oh my God, gig workers deserve better. I'm not making this shit up, folks. This is right there, New York Times. Bam! August the 10th. Bam! I am the CEO of Uber. Gig workers deserve better. Gig workers want both flexibility and benefits. We support laws that could make that possible. This is a desperate Mr. Desperado reaches out to the public and wants them literally to vote no on 22 by publishing this opinion piece in a big paper, New York Times, right? I am the CEO of Uber. Gig workers deserve better. You are right. Gig workers do deserve better, but how can we believe you? How can we trust you when you've done the exact opposite your entire life? Since you took over Travis 2.0, Dara marches in, oh, we're going to shake things up, make it better. No, you've pushed the same old. In fact, you've cut even more. You've hurt drivers even more. You weren't there in the pandemic for them. You didn't supply the PPE. Mr. Dara Khosrowshahi, now the public, after all these years, needs to respect your words, believe you when you say gig workers deserve better. Look, once bitten, twice shy, twice bitten, 3 times bitten, 4 times bitten, 5 times bitten, 6 times bitten, 7 times bitten, 100 times bitten, I remain shy. I don't believe a single utter word out of this man's arsehole. I really don't. Sherelle Charlie's in the house. CC Garner's in the house. Techie B's in the house. Michael Smith in the house. Michael Smith says UK Supreme Court could be handing out verdict next week earlier than expected. Very good. Howard Q says good morning. I welcome you all. Now, wow, we got to dive into this. We've got a couple of things to cover here, right? The other story we need to cover is this one here. Will Trump's promise of new $400 unemployment payments really happen? Let me repeat this. Will Trump's promise of the new $400 unemployment payments really happen? Hot topic. We need to dive in on this one, right? But first, we go here. Okay, let's see what Mr. Dara Khosrowshahi has to tell us on August the 10th. Since the first Uber trip 10 years ago, one existential question has shadowed us. Remember, he's writing this. Do we treat drivers well? Simple, short answer, no. Many of our critics, including the New York Times editorial board, believe that Uber and our gig economy peers have failed drivers by treating them as contractors, and that we will do anything to avoid the cost of employee benefits like health insurance. Look, actions speak louder than words, Mr. Dara Khosrowshahi. This is precisely what you've been doing for 10 years, and that is why the New York Times editorial board time and time again believed that Uber and the gig economy peers failed the drivers. They've written it time and time again, right? So given our company's history, I can understand why they think that, but it's not true, and it's not what I believe. Oh my God! So you have a lie that, you know, now he's trying to cover up a lie, right? No, we've been treating drivers well. We've been doing everything for them. Horse crap. Many of our critics, including, okay, I've done that, blah, blah, blah. Given our company's history, I can understand why they think that, but that it's not true. It's not what I believe. Our current employment system is outdated and unfair. It forces every worker to choose between being an employee with more benefits but less flexibility, or an independent contractor with more flexibility but almost no safety net. Uber is ready right now to pay more to give drivers new benefits and protections. That's because you're scared. That's because you are afraid. Teddy T's in the house. Jimmy Abstract Echo's in the house. But America needs to change the status quo to protect all workers, not just one type of work. Why not just treat drivers as employees? Some of our critics argue that doing so would make drivers' problems vanish overnight. It may seem like a reasonable assumption, but it's one that I think ignores a stark reality. Uber would only have full-time jobs for a small fraction of our current drivers and only be able to operate in fewer cities than today. That's the threat, right? So you force us into that position and we can only take on a handful of drivers. That's the threat that they put out there. Rides would be more expensive, you know, making the rider, the passenger fear when he reads that in the New York Times. Rides would be more expensive, which would significantly reduce the number of rides people could take, and in turn, the number of drivers needed to provide those trips. Uber would not be as widely available to riders, and drivers would lose the flexibility they have today if they became employees. More important than what I think is what drivers think. In public surveys over the last decade, the vast majority of drivers have said they don't want to be employees because of how much they value flexibility. A recent survey commissioned by Uber and other companies found that 2 out of 3 app drivers would stop driving if their flexibility was compromised. Now, we got to stop there for a second. I fully agree with the guy that drivers may not want to be boxed in as an employee, right? But when Uber for 10 years tells the story, and this is a lie, they're telling a lie that these individuals are independent contractors. They are not independent contractors, because except for California, who only in the last year can choose their destination, set the rates, the rest of the country, the rest of the world are not independent contractors. So it's been a lie that's been played over and over and over again by Dara, by Uber, by Lyft. And now that he is facing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, California Labor Commissioner Javier Becerra, Attorney General, the state of California, New York, Massachusetts, everyone is suing Uber and say, listen, you got to act. You can't push the same old onto these drivers, even during a pandemic. There was no safety net for drivers, right? So now they're screaming foul, oh, you know, we are for change, and yes, drivers are being mistreated. You're only saying that, you're only coming out because you are feeling relentless pressure. You're trying to get to the November ballot. You're trying to get people to vote yes on Proposition 22 so that you can keep on going with the same old shenanigans, right? So he throws a little bit of a bone out there. We're going to offer a little bit more pay. We're going to offer no, you got to set out very clearly for the public and for the drivers, this is what we are offering. And if you want to put a proposal forward that makes sense for everyone, for the state, for the company, and for the drivers, it is my opinion, you have to set it up accordingly, right? Allow each driver to choose whenever, whichever company they want to drive for. Allow each driver to choose their destination. If they don't want to take that trip, don't penalize them. Don't deactivate them, right? Give them the choice of driving when and where they want to. If they don't want to go to that destination, they don't have to go to that destination, right? So you can't micromanage, algorithmically manage the way you want it. You got to give the driver the true independent status, allow them to set their rates, right? Those rates need to be higher than the current because that formula is not even paying for the wear and tear of the car. It's a lose-lose proposition, right? So the rates are going to be, and then you have to have a little bit of a safety net. What is a safety net? The driver has to have some say. He has to have some power in the say of things, right? So he has to have a voice, has to have a representation. He has to be protected if another pandemic rolls around. There has to be some sort of health net. There have to be some sort of health safety measures, etc., etc. And what does this all sound like? This sounds like a new law, like a new gig hybrid law. You got to set something up for drivers, for gig workers that is a combination of true independent contractor status and elements of employee or employer benefits, right? It's got to be a hybrid. This is what the guy needs to address. And if we can get there in the middle, the state will win, the companies will win, and the drivers will win. And maybe the passengers have to pay a little bit more. They're already paying a little bit more here in California because people are setting their own rates. Dweller C's in the house. I want to acknowledge you. LTO is in the house. I acknowledge you. Nifty 50's in the house. Says, good afternoon. You must be 3 hours ahead. Teddy says, hey, Abstract Echo, I agree with you, but we all know Uber doesn't want to be responsible for paying all of those benefits. Very true. Very well said. This is because they understand the trade-offs between traditional employment and app work. And like traditional jobs, drivers have total freedom to choose when and how they drive so they can fit their work around their life, not the other way around. Anyone who's been fired after having to miss a shift or who's been forced to choose between school and work will tell you that this type of freedom has real value and simply does not exist with most traditional jobs. That freedom, that choice, he's right on that. That's about the only thing I think in this article he's right on. That does give us a lot of flexibility. But that flexibility does not make us a true independent contractor. That is the lie that Dara has been saying over and over and over again. Oh, they are independent contractors. They are independent contractors. We are not independent contractors, right? Under the true definition of independent contractors, we are not independent contractors because they still take 99% of our rights away in other states, whether it's Georgia, whether it's Florida, whether it's Texas, whether it's Colorado. You still don't have those freedoms to set your rates and to choose your destinations. Rick Nelson's in the house. Very good morning. While I disagree with our critics about the solution, I do think they are right about many of the problems. The freedom to work whenever you want comes with a serious drawback. When the worst happens, too often you're on your own. There has historically been little to no paid support for independent workers if they couldn't work. if they wanted to take a vacation, or more important, if they got sick. There has to be a third way for gig workers, but we need to get specific. Okay, this is precisely what I said 15 minutes ago, right? 10 minutes ago. You have to be more specific, right? Why, after 10 years, are you pleading? Are you begging the public to sympathize with you, right? Why, at this point, are you trying to be specific? Why have you not been honest and truthful and specific with drivers and gig workers years and years and years ago? Why now? I tell you why now, because they are feeling this relentless pressure. And when the rat, Dara, is cornered, right, he has to find a way out. Right? So he is literally making an appeal through the New York Times to the public and say, hear me out. I think I have a solution. Well, the truth is you have a solution because you are scared. You're proposing a solution because you are scared, because you are afraid, because the walls are coming in and the rat is cornered and the rat needs a way out, right? There has to be a third way for gig workers, but we need to get specific because we need more than new ideas. We need new laws. I agree with that. Our current system is binary, meaning that each time a company provides additional benefits to independent workers, the less independent they become. That creates more uncertainty and risk for the company, which is a main reason why we need new laws and can't act entirely on our own. It's time to move beyond this false choice that you've created. As a start, all gig economy companies need to pay for benefits, should be more honest about the reality of the work, and must strengthen the rights and voice of workers. I am astounded. I am blown away that he is saying this now. Now, because he is in deep, deep, deep trouble with the law. Now he is seeking sympathy. Now he is seeking help. Now he is seeking support. I question the timing, and I have the right to question the timing. Dirk is in the house. Austin, Texas in the house. I'm doing well. California is doing well. Beautiful blue skies outside. Had an awesome weekend. Very happy. Shane Hill's in the house. Good morning. Boo Boo F's in the house. Happy Monday. Kenneth Holochek's in the house. Kenny from the South Bay in the house. Just got my unemployment check only $700 for 2 weeks. No pandemic unemployment. And we're going to talk about the PUA now because big things happened, right? Big things happened. I want to finish off the story and we can jump into the PUA because boy, oh boy, is that a quagmire right now. That's heading to the courts, right? Our leader, our superior leader there went off on his own, made his own decisions, wrote his own orders, right? With conditions, always with caveats and conditions built in. He wanted the states to chip in $100, saying, you know, it's going to be $400, but he wants the states who are already overburdened, don't have the money to chip in $100, and it's a shit show. So we're going to go to that just now. And before I go back to the article, Democrats and Republicans really need to get together yesterday. They need to get together again and continue talking until they hash this out, right? This is no time for the Senate or the House to go on a holiday. You got to stay in there until you get your shit done, until there is a meeting of the minds, until you have come up with a number and you shake hands, you agree on it, and then you let the guy sign off on it, right? By not operating in that space, obviously, he's going to jump in because he thinks he has the powers now, which is not his rights according to the law, right? He can't decide what gets done with taxes, et cetera, with these monies. But he's put that out there, which hopefully will prompt them. I mean, there might be some good in this by him signing this. Although he can't push those powers through, it prompts them to act. So at least something is happening, right? But will we right away get $400 again? don't count your chickens before they're hatched. That's all I can say. Do not count the chickens before they're hatched. Shane Hill says, after not driving since March 23rd, started back up this past weekend, all kinds of bonuses on Lyft. Our hub is open, however, Uber hub is closed, so it's Lyft only for now. Paula Trigg says, sorry, been missing in action for a while. My dad passed away on July the 11th. We're very sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that, Paula. He had a myriad of chronic illnesses, then tested positive for the COVID. Wow. Wow, that's a hard one. So for those non-believers that say this is a hoax, it's not a hoax, my friends. It's real. Her father passed away. Rest in peace. We send our love. We send our prayers. And Durka has a good question. Will Lyft give us cleaning supplies and masks? So I'm going to rephrase that. Will Lyft finally give us cleaning, disinfectants and masks and PPE? Where is it? Where is it, Uber? Where is it, Lyft? Why do we have to order it on your site now? Why are you freaking monetizing this? After you've, listen, this stuff is happened in February, March, April, May, June, July. In July, you started, in August, you started selling, sorry, in July, you started selling PPE? 4 or 5 months too late. These guys are stupid, man. Shane Hill, thank you for those prayers for the lady. Shane Hill says, why should we pay for the inspection for Uber? After all, I'm already providing the car. Exactly. It's because they're hurting for money, right? They're hurting for money. And they want you to now pay for the inspection. Desperate times for Uber and Lyft. I want you to pay for the inspection, right? Doesn't sit very well with drivers who sort of went in for the inspection and, you know, it's not a big fee. It's not a big fee that Uber and Lyft had to incur. We're already supplying the car, as Shane Hill says. Why should we pay for the inspection? Good point. Rick Nelson says, what market are you in? Lyft has you go to hub, will not send it to you. Thank you, Paula. Sherelle says, I'm from South Bay. I grew up in Manhattan Beach. Yep. I've met Sherelle a few times. Very cool lady. Very cool person. So, we need new laws. Our current system is binary, meaning that each time a company provides additional benefits to independent workers, the less independent they become. That creates more uncertainty and risk for the company, which is a main reason why we need new laws and can't act entirely on our own. It's time to move beyond this false choice. As a start, all gig economy companies need to pay for benefits, should be more honest about the reality, says Mr. Dishonesty. Oh my God, what a hypocrite. Should be more honest about the reality of the work and must strengthen the rights and voice of workers. You've never had any intention of strengthening the rights. You have never had any intention of giving the workers rights, you or Travis. You've always controlled them with your algorithms. And now, because the walls are coming in and they're afraid, they're scared, now he's pleading, he's begging for your help. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is a two-faced son of a bitch. This is a hypocrite in my eyes, right? It's very, very easy to see who tells the truth and who's not telling the truth. It's not difficult to distinguish truth and honesty, falsehood and lies. It's very easy to keep them apart. It's very easy for me to see that Dara K has been selling the lie, and now that the walls are coming down on him, he needs your help. He wants the public to sympathize with him. Double standards, Mr. Dara Koshashawa. You walk around life with double standards. Karma eventually bites you in the ass. Mark my words. Mervyn Khan's in the house. Haven't seen him for a long time. Good morning. The latest riders are doing now to get free rides is accusing drivers of not wearing masks and making a safety complaint. How disgusting. Yeah, and that's leading to a lot of deactivations, right? To a lot of wrongful deactivations, exactly as Mervyn Khan says, that the riders to get free rides or to get a bonus there, they put the driver into a position with their falsehood, with their false story that they submit to Uber and Lyft. Oh, he wasn't wearing a mask, which now, I'm going to use this right here, right? If you go to Cova.ai, keep on plugging them, there's a cool provision working there, and you get 30 days, you get 1 month free if you use my code. Here we go, Cova.ai/refer/rideshare professor. That's apparently who I am. You get a month free, right? They have a partnership. And by the way, this is not insurance. This is a membership-driven website. They have a partnership with Legal Rideshare or with Legal Ride, whatever they're called. And should a rider try and pull shit on you, right, with this mask, oh, he wasn't wearing a mask, when the truth is you were wearing a mask, right? And the app should have recognized it because you apparently took a picture with your mask on, right, in order to drive. Then the rider comes out and says, well, he wasn't wearing a mask. For some reason, you get deactivated. You turn to Cova, right? You want 80% of your pay covered while you're offline. And then the attorney sent out the letters. Legal Rideshare sends out the letters to Uber and says, hang on, you wrongfully deactivated my client. You need to reactivate them. So that is a protection built in there. Dennis Torres, I'm going to be down in Long Beach today for the whole day. I hope to see you down there. Do drop in. I'll treat you to a nice burrito at the Taqueria on 4th Street and Redondo if you want. There's a great taqueria there. Dennis Torres, the legend in the house. I know the guy's a true warrior, true fighter, and I appreciate him. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you and your familia are doing well. Abstract Echo says, question, how can you tell when Dara douchebag is lying? His lips are moving. Oh my God. I am so grateful to have Abstract Echo Jimmy in the house because listen, if there's anything I appreciate, it's sarcasm. I love sarcasm. That's why I love it when, like you're in the UK, they just sarcastic all the time. There is nothing better than sarcasm, and sarcasm is true intelligence. It's true. People that are extremely sarcastic are off the charts intelligent. So huge compliment there for Abstract Echo Jimmy. Always makes me laugh, always brings out the best in sarcasm. He says, question, how can you tell when Dara douchebag is lying? Answer, his lips are moving. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Or in this case, his pen is moving, right? Because he wrote this opinion to the New York Times. So use that link, get that free month. I'm going to jump back into the article because I got to finish that off. It's time to move beyond this false choice as a start. All gig economy companies need to pay for benefits, should be more, this is all Dara speaking now, writing, right? Should be more honest about the reality of the work and must strengthen the rights and voice of the workers. I am proposing, Dara K, am proposing that gig economy companies be required to establish benefit funds which give workers cash that they can use for the benefits they want, like health insurance or paid time off. So let's just break that down. I am proposing that gig economy companies be required to establish benefits and funds which give workers cash that they can use for the benefits they want, like health insurance or paid time off. Now, I have to set the record straight for the public that's going to vote, right? When the pandemic rolled around, and please, I want the public and the passengers to listen up at this point because the drivers already know that, right? When people were getting sick, when people were trying to get this health coverage, this help that they so urgently needed back in February, March, April, May, June, while people were getting sick, Uber was stonewalling us, not giving out those health benefits, not giving out the money. In fact, they made the system so difficult. They made you jump through so many hoops. You had to get letters from government health officials. They did not want to pay you out. They did not want to give you those health benefits. So public, please do not be fooled by this person who for 10 years has been squashing drivers, who has been squashing gig workers. Don't fall for this nonsense, I beg you, and vote no on 22, right? Because when you vote no on 22, you now are really, really forcing the company to sit down with the states and hash out a new deal. If you are voting yes on 22, you are allowing the companies to get away with their shenanigans, and they will treat us the same way. These are just empty words. This is an empty opinion piece by a person who has been doing exactly the opposite of what he says in this opinion piece. During the pandemic, again, I want the public to know that Dara K was not there for the drivers. Dara K made it impossible for the drivers to get any health assistance, any health coverage, any money during the pandemic, and still demanded that we go out there as essential drivers to the front lines, and still demanded we do all that work without PPE, without masks. They never supplied nothing. So do not trust this person for a microsecond, right? He lies through his teeth, and now suddenly, when the walls are coming down on Mr. Dara K and Uber, and now they're afraid because the ballot's creeping up, right? And they're getting hammered by the UK Supreme Court, and there's another verdict in a few days here in California. They are begging for your help, for you, the public, for the riders' help. Do not fall for his BS. He has always done the opposite of what he says in this article. This is pure desperation from a CEO trying to win your signature, trying to win your voice. Do not fall for it, and vote no on 22. So we force true new discussions, true new hybrid laws, right? That somehow the state and Uber are going to have to work out, because otherwise they have to treat these people as employees. We got to push and mount the pressure, right? I don't want to become an employee, but I want better conditions than there were before. I want better pay, right? I want some sort of health coverage, right? And you still want to be treated as an independent contractor. We need new gig worker laws. And the only way we achieve that is if we vote no on 22, right? So had this been the law in all 50 states, Uber would have contributed $655 million to benefits funds last year alone. Taking one example, we estimate that a driver in Colorado averaging over 35 hours per week would have accrued approximately $1,350 in benefits funds in 2019. That's enough to cover 2 weeks of paid time off, or the median annual premium payment for subsidized health insurance available through an existing Uber partnership. Why just give drivers money and let them decide what to do with it, rather than requiring companies to provide specific benefits to everyone? Once again, it comes down to what drivers want. How do you know what drivers want, Dara? How do you know what drivers want? You've never spoken to them, you've never met with them. You're making wild assumptions what drivers want, right? When you ask many policymakers which benefit they think is most important to drivers, the answer is almost always healthcare. Yet, when we ask drivers which benefits they want most, healthcare doesn't crack the top 5. That's most likely because most drivers already have some form of health insurance, whether through another job, the Affordable Care Act, or a family member. That's because you are not supplying any form of health insurance. which means the driver has to go and get their own insurance and incur more monies because you are not taking care of it. This fool, don't get me started. Driving passengers or delivering food on a bike comes with real risks. States should require all gig companies to provide medical and disability coverage for injuries incurred on the job, creating a baseline safety net that we cannot give to drivers today without risking their independent status under the law. We also need new laws that prevent companies from denying independent workers opportunities based on their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or any other protected characteristic. Shockingly, that fundamental measure of equality is not fully enshrined into law for all American workers today. There are changes we should make on our own. Uber will start, and I hope others will follow. Uber will start after 10 years. To begin with, we have to be more transparent about what drivers make and the realities of the work. That's why we've launched a new earnings estimator using historical data to give drivers a clearer view of what they can expect to earn in the area before they even sign up. We also need to do a better job acting on drivers' concerns. That starts with holding ourselves accountable. We commit to surveying every single active driver in the country about what's working and what's not, and to publicly releasing the results. Yeah, do that. Do that. Publicly release the results of that survey. Allow every single driver to voice their concerns, their matters, their upset. And by the way, if you guys want me to continue the live feed, I'm not happy with 10 likes. Sorry, I'm working my ass off here exposing this story. I have 31 people in the house, and I have a lame 10 likes when I'm exposing the fool, trying to push for change, and that is my gratitude I get, is 10 likes. Come on, guys. Seriously? For many people, nothing short of us reclassifying all drivers as employees will be enough. That is the thrust of several lawsuits against Uber in the wake of a new California law. Hang on, hold on, Dara. That is the thrust of several lawsuits against Uber in the wake of the new California law. Don't you, Dara, think you got yourself into this position, right? Don't you think that all of these lawsuits against your company had some sort of meaning? We're trying to push for some sort of change, right? Like, don't pretend like you're the little victim now, right? Because you got yourself to that point. You had the ability to implement changes a long time ago, Dara, and you didn't. You pushed and you squeezed and you extracted as much money as you could out of gig workers until the walls started coming down, until lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. And now you're crying foul. Now you're running to the media. Now you're writing an opinion piece, hoping that the people sympathize with you. Ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for this individual. He's very see-through. He's very transparent. And it's very, very easy to show that he never, ever had the driver's best interest at heart. And now he wants your help. So for many people, nothing short of us reclassifying all drivers as employees will be enough. That is the thrust of several lawsuits against Uber in the wake of the new California law known as Assembly Bill 5. We're backing a November ballot initiative in California that would keep drivers as independent contractors while requiring us to provide new benefits. So he wants you to vote yes on 22, and I say vote no on 22 so that we can put on more pressure, right? The more pressure, the more chips we can mount against this company, the better we will come out, right? Don't want them to go back to their own, just because they write an opinion piece, get to the November ballot, get it their way, that'll go straight back to their old bad habits, right? Like I said, once bitten, twice shy, ladies and gentlemen. If gig workers want to keep their current flexibility and get new benefits, shouldn't we give them the best of both worlds? Oh, come on, Dara. instead of asking them to choose the lesser of two evils. This is what we have been pushing for, the best of both worlds. This is what we are pushing for. He's been fighting this all along, and now he's adopting our language, trying to get sympathy. We have been pushing for the best. Haven't you heard me say a hybrid, a hybrid, a hybrid? Something between independent, something between. This is the verbiage we have been mounting all the time. And then he has the audacity to turn around and say, if gig workers want to keep their current flexibility and get new benefits, shouldn't we give them the best of both worlds instead of asking them to choose the less of two evils? We pushed for this. So I find it a cheek that he's adopting our language, which we are pushing for, and using this in this article to get sympathizers. And his actions have shown that he's done exactly the opposite of what we've been requesting, namely the hybrid, the best of both worlds, right? Has to be a new law. I've been saying this for 2 years. You can go back in my videos. Has to be the best of both worlds, the best of independent contractorship, the best of employees. There has to be a new gig hybrid. And this is what we have been pushing for. Push, 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 push. And now he's adopting our own language to try and get the public sympathy, who hopefully will back him on 22. Ladies and gentlemen, don't fall for this double-headed monster. During this moment of crisis, I fundamentally believe platforms like Uber can fuel an economic recovery by quickly giving people flexible work to get back on their feet. But this opportunity will be lost if we ignore the obvious lessons of the pandemic and fail to ensure independent workers have a stronger safety net. You've already failed to give workers a safety net by not showing up during the pandemic, by not providing the PPE, by abolishing pool very, very late in the game, by not sending sanitization materials, by not sending gloves, by not sending masks. You have already failed our safety net. So don't pretend suddenly, oh, we need to seize this opportunity and create a safety net, right? Scott Tucker, Kenneth Holacek, it says message retracted. You can write it. I'll green light it. Just put it out there. Apex on Marine and Inglewood, down the street from Uber Hub in Redondo Beach, Uber inspection site, Lawndale. Scott Tucker, Dara, that one trip dose does not count as a driver. You need 1 week as a driver to understand what the drivers go through. It's more than a week. We've challenged this fool to 100 trips. He's taken one trip, and he even screwed up on the one trip. If you remotely want to understand what drivers go through, put 100 trips in that 1 week, Dara. Never did it. None of the executives did it. So how can you be at the helm? How can you be at the captain steering wheel of a company and you don't even know how your company functions? You've done one trip and you drove like a complete arsehole. You missed the street. You screwed up. You came around the other side in San Francisco. You need to go out and do 10 times 10, 100 trips in 1 week in order to remotely understand what gig workers go through. None of them have done it. And if you want to be a master at your game, you better master your own game, right? If you want to be the CEO of a company, if you want to be the CEO of an insurance company, you better have sold thousands and thousands of insurance policies, right? If you want to be the CEO of a big real estate company like Keller Williams or Century 21 or Remax, you better have sold thousands and thousands of homes and written many contracts. Dara's never been behind the wheel, right? He comes from a travel company, from a Travelocity. Airlines and bookings and hotels have nothing to do with the steering wheel, my friend. You are so far from reality. You don't understand the concept of gig workers, nor have you ever made an effort to understand it. And now it pisses me off, and I'm really riled up today on this Monday, but it's a good thing because I'm going to channel this into a lot of crazy good work this week, right? The reason why I'm riled up is because here we are pushing for 24 months for change, and he comes out with this opinion piece and pretends he's a little angel. I, the little angel Dara K, I need your help right now, dear public, dear riders. Don't fall for it. During this moment of crisis, I fundamentally believe platforms like Uber can fuel an economic recovery by quickly giving people flexible work to get back on their feet. But this opportunity will be lost. See, fear will be lost if we ignore the obvious lessons of the pandemic and fail to ensure independent workers have a stronger safety net. This is the time for Uber to come together with government to raise the standard of workers for all. The opportunity is now, and the responsibility is ours. The world has changed, and we must change with it. I am the CEO of Uber, and gig workers deserve better. Tommy's in the house. All right, so George Orwell's doublespeak, Rick Nelson, you're on the money there, my friend. So this is an article written by New Jersey, because according to these new executive powers that he has signed off on, he says, okay, $400. And I think $400 is decent. We've always said they're going to meet in the middle. We've always thrown out this number of $400. One 600, the other one 200. So you meet on 400. So I think it's 400 is very realistic. But they build in these conditions. He signs in these conditions that the states have to chip in $100, right, weekly. And the states barely have the money to get their own stuff together. They barely have the money to cope with coronavirus, with the schools, with all of that. And now he wants them to chip that $100 in, right? So if you want to keep the system flowing, Mr. President, right, don't build in these conditions. I think it's 400 is decent, right? I think it's decent. I think the two parties have to meet in the middle, right? I think it's decent. So if he can keep the $400 going without the states, being tied in there and have a ball and chain around their ankles and add extra weight where they have their other jobs to do. They got to do testing. They got to make sure hospitals are running well. They got to make sure that schools are functioning and getting ready. They got to make sure that all the online platforms are working. They got to make sure blah, blah, blah. Just put 400 on the table, meet in the middle, no conditions, no little caveats, right? And, exactly. They say it's only good through till September, put it through till December, kickstart the economy, and let's work together. When I say let's work together, I say let Republicans and Democrats work together. Get back to work. Don't take a holiday now, right? They want to come back in September. No. Get your work done. You work for us. These people work for us. We don't work for them. But workers are wondering if that's really going to happen. And if it does, how long will it take? And this is about New Jersey Department of Labor to program its computer systems to make the payout. So we've already seen so many problems with those archaic computer systems. Nevada wasn't paying out. Texas wasn't paying out for the longest time. California was paying out. This state was paying out. That state wasn't paying out. So they made all these adjustments. And now we have to do all of these adjustments again. We need the computer systems to update all of this stuff and start the chaos again and keep people waiting even longer because there's new rules upon Band-Aids, upon Band-Aids, upon Band-Aids. Keep it simple, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it simple. Have all 50 states on the same page and have conditions for all 50 states. Not this state this state here, this state yes, this state no, adding new Band-Aids. It's a crap show. It's a crap show. It's a crap show. Tommy's in the house. And how's the cash-strapped state going to pay for it? I've already brought this up. How are they going to pay for it? How are these states already so burdened just trying to fight with this COVID? How are they going to pay for it? Unlike the initial $600 expanded benefits, the $400 from the president's order will be a cost share with the states. So some states can afford it, some states can't. So why these double standards? Why is it fair that if you are driving in a state, you will get the 400? And if you're driving in a state that cannot afford it, you don't get the 400. You've got all these double standards. Some get it, some don't. Keep it uniform. I'm okay with the 400. I didn't expect 600, right? I'm taking action to provide an additional $400 a week in expanded benefits. The president said that's generous, but we want to take care of our people. But there's conditions. He's built conditions. And those are nice words, but there's conditions in there, right? The benefits would last through December 27th and would cover eligible claimants from the week of ending August the 1st, 2020. The president's order said, and here come the conditions. Trump said the federal government will cover 75% of the cost. So that means New Jersey will have to pay $100 of the $400. That means Florida will have to pay $100 of the $400. That means Texas will have to pay $100 of the $400. That means South Dakota, North Carolina will have to pay $100 of the $400 in additional payments to the unemployed. Now, if the state is already so burdened and cannot free up that type of money, there's a problem, which means some drivers will be getting the money, some drivers won't. Some drivers will have a ton of frustration not getting the money. Some people will keep on collecting. This is what we've been through in the last few months. Why don't we learn from those mistakes? Why don't we learn from the mistakes in the last 90 to 120 days and make the system better? Make the computer system better, make it better for all 50 states, come up with a realistic figure of $400, and get your shit together, Republicans and Democrats. I hold them equally accountable for failing, right? Democrats can't point the fingers at Republicans and say, whoa, you didn't do this, this, and this. Republicans can't point the fingers at Democrats. Well, you guys asked for too much. No, get your shit together, get an operating computer system for 50 states, make it reasonable. 400 is more than reasonable, and let's get going. Why does this have to be a shit show? Why does this have to be an absolute crapshoot where there's all these the White House wants this, administration wants this state wants this state wants that, I want this, I'm not giving up this, I want this. Slap you guys awake, man. Get on one page. Get on one page and get it done. Nerds of porn is in the house, and now wait to get this $400. Well, great, $400 figure. When does it arrive in your account? It's Moose is in the house. Welcome you. It says 1.13 million in California still haven't been paid their first unemployment check. A lot of people in Nevada haven't even received their first round, and now they're convoluting the second round. Everyone is working against each other here. Administration, White House doing their own thing, GOP doing their own thing, Republicans doing. There is no meeting of the minds. This reminds me very much of Uber and Lyft. There's no meeting of the minds. It's just chaos, ruling in chaos. Chaos, chaos, chaos. I tell you where I didn't see the chaos. I didn't see this type of chaos in Europe, and I lived in several countries in Europe. I did see a lot of this chaos, very similar to the United States right now in Africa, where the rich got richer, the political schooling didn't supply them the health that they deserved. Chaos. Take for the top 3%. I see the same thing happening here. So Governor Phil Murphy and the Labor Department didn't immediately respond to requests about how much in payments the state will provide, how the agency will facilitate the payments, and how long it may take. That's a pretty typical answer for any governor. It could be Governor Newsom, could be Governor DeSantis, could be Governor Phil Murray. It didn't immediately respond to the request about how much in payments the state will provide, how the agency will facilitate the payments, and how long it may take. The Labor Department has come under fire for its antiquated computer system. We've been talking about this antiquated computer system since they tried to get the first things off the ground in February. Why not put the money into the system for 50 states and get a new functioning system in place? You've got the engineers, you've got the new technology, spend the money and save yourselves endless headaches and frustrations and lawsuits by just implementing a new computer system. Get it uniform in all 50 states. You know, sometimes I think we're living in the dark ages here, guys. Sometimes I think like, you know, this is all happening 400 years ago. We're in 2020, and these people can't get their shit together. The Labor Department has come under fire for its antiquated computer system when it added new payment systems to its computers for the expanded $600 benefits for gig worker and self-employment benefits known as Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA, and for expanded federal and state unemployment benefits. Workers said there was a lag in many cases for weeks or longer. And it wasn't just New Jersey. When Congress decided on the $600 payments, it was in part because many states' systems wouldn't be able to process income-based benefits in a realistic time period. There we go. Because many states' systems are so antiquated, wouldn't be able to process income-based benefits in a realistic time period. So that's the problem. What is the solution? A new 50-state computer system that brings everyone on the same page. Why can't they figure that shit out? It's because an older brother country who has dealt with these type of issues in previous experience as a whole country. I know, it's all good words. They're all beautiful, lovely words, but do something. You know, less talking and more doing. Less talking and more actions. That's what I'd like to see. From both sides. The truth warriors in the house. I feel very blessed that I'm still working through all of this, even though my employer wants to impose cost savings days, which is a pay cut to receive extra time off. You pay for it. When will it hit my account? LOL. The state of Colorado also magically cut my regular PUA from 600 to 200 last week of July. Now I got to appeal that, so I'm stressed beyond. Truth Warrior says, my union contract stopped it for now. Exempt employees are forced to do this. So it's like a do or die type of system right now. It's like a survival system. These guys are doing this. These guys are doing that. These guys are implementing this. These guys are cost cutting here. There's no universal meeting of the minds, no universal understanding, no universal coverage, no universal system, no universal computer system where everyone's on the same page. It's more like everyone's working against everyone. It's a shit show. Yeah, Rick Nelson's got a great. Let Google or Microsoft engineer upgrade a new system. Let them build something together, Google, Microsoft. Let the states each put in whatever, $5 million. 50 states raise $250 million and build a new system. And let experts design the system, right? Build in AI, artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah. You write a question, they got like 20, 30 different answers, right? Get something going that is 2025, please, not 1821, right? Okay, my friends, 60 minutes. This was the 60 Minutes show. Again, I am extending 30 free days, 1 month of free membership from the Rideshare Professor at cova.ai. Just go and read about them, find out what they're about, learn about those portable benefits for gig workers, And that's not just for Uber and Lyft, that's for everyone. DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Shipt, Amazon Flex. They've built a system, a membership. It's not an insurance, not a car insurance, not a medical insurance. It's a membership that creates a safety net, right? I want to read out a few more messages from our house. It's Moose says, millions of people are up for eviction because rent and mortgage forbearance has expired. Yeah. What's the solution to that? Truth Warrior says, I'm 100% anti-socialist. My friend and I almost argued about it. I'm not going to a fixed universal income. Shane Hill says, I'm grateful during the middle of all of this global issue, I landed a full-time job with benefits, but to stay afloat, I've started back with Lyft. Cool. Happy to hear that, Shane, that you've been proactive. To me, what that says is you've been proactive. You landed a job, you've made an effort to get a job, and you have Lyft as a backup plan. The bottom line is Shane has a plan, right? Shane has a plan to get him through to 2021. And that, I think, is wonderful. And I applaud you for that, Shane. I congratulate you for that, for being creative, for being proactive, for working and not just kicking back and digging the hole. You know, you've dug a hole and you're in that hole, you keep on digging that hole. No. Fill the hole up with sand, get a ladder, and you start climbing the ladder. NOP says, Truth Warrior, they said the reason is because I didn't provide my proof of income when I did that in April, when I first applied, and now all of a sudden I didn't, and they cut it. So there's got to be a remedy to appeal that, right? And if you, by the way, it's quite funny, but you know, when you send Uber or Lyft something, or if you send the state something, you want to send it registered mail. I did that with Uber, but remember, just read that line there. Uber would not accept. See, they don't want additional problems. So when the FedEx guy comes there, delivery refused by recipient, right? So this is how Uber operates. And Randall Heimer, I'm going to make your life miserable, my friend. Know that, for sending me out during the pandemic, telling me to supply papers. And I don't forget, I'm like an elephant. I will make your effing life miserable for putting me and my kids in harm's way. Comes at a big price. Just be prepared. Payment Ali, don't expect politicians to fix any real problems. When a tough problem comes up, they generally do what they do best, kick the can down the road. Yeah, and that's just like, that's my frustration and upset right now, that you have the Democrats, the Republicans, the GOP, the White House, the administration just kicking that can ding, 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 down the road. Kick it again, ding, 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 ding. Resolve it? No. Kick it again, ding, 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 ding. Sounds like you got to take matters into your own hands. Truth Warrior says, I was hit very hard during the 2008 recession. This one is worse. This one is 10 times worse than 2008. And in 2008, you could get creative. Even if people say, oh, I'm losing my properties, bullshit. You could do so much to keep those properties afloat. NOP says, I'm going to fight the state on it for sure. you need to get onto Twitter and get the names, NOP. You need to get the names and tweet 5, 6, 7 times a day. Expose them. This is how you get stuff done. You win the fight in social media, right? You can write your registered letters and all of that. You can supply information. That's one thing. That's your legal backup. Hey, I did it. I showed the proof. Here's the proof. Now you turn to social media. You got to hammer them on social media, Truth Warrior. Hammer them. Gustavo Rosales in the house. Professor, do we have to accept emotional pets in our cars? Well, you have to accept pets if they are, if the rider can prove that they are essential to them, to their health, right? Emotional pets, I don't know what an emotional pet is. What is an emotional dog? What is an emotional cat? Elaborate, Gustavo. I want to hear that one. I want to understand clearly what an emotional pet is. Yeah. Well, I just said you're supposed to. But that's if the rider needs it for their health, or a lot of people have anxiety, whatever, and so the doctor will say, okay, well, you have to have a little dog or some pet around you 24/7 to curb that anxiety. Service animals, that's what it's called. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Service animal. David Garcia and Jimmy said it at the same time. It's called a service animal, not an emotional pet. There's a big difference between a service animal and an emotional pet. I don't think I've seen many emotional pets. Give them the tool set. They need to fix it. They need to fix the issue. Well, I'm going to take a swig of my coffee. Legacy Rideshare in the other room. He says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, Legacy Rideshare. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Monday. Please, masks, sanitizers, whatever you need to do to stay safe. These are not bras. This is a mask. Whatever it takes to stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, please work together. Work together, my friends. You, your family, your neighbors, work together. There was a big biker meeting in Sturgis, right? Anybody hear about that biker meeting? The majority of those people were not wearing masks. I don't understand why we can't just all work together. Why did another flare up and another flare up and another flare up and another flare up? Because people are not on the same page. I will not be told to wear a mask. Okay, it happens to work. We look at other countries' data. New Zealand, 100 days without an infection. 100 days in New Zealand. Locked it down, implemented, just like you implement a seatbelt law, implemented the laws, got it locked down. And now they're not losing people. Antonio Banderas. Anybody know him, Antonio Banderas? Got COVID today. COVID. Bobby J. Producer 88. Interesting title. Start at the top. Get rid of all senators and congressmen, 535 total. Replace them with qualified people and give these flakes 120 days to exit, and then give term limits to the replacement. I like that. I like that. Great. Put qualified people in there, not people that are like, to me, the one guy I cannot stand is Mitch McConnell, just worth $30-40 million. His people in Kentucky ain't doing great financially, and he just keeps on cutting those deals with lobbyists, right? And then they both like that, Democrats and Republicans. You're right. Give them term limits, put qualified people in, and flush. I love that. I love that idea. Flush all 535 of them out. Bye-bye. Here's your pink slip. F off. You made enough money now. Shouldn't be politicized. It's like, listen, I talk to my friends in Germany. I talk to my friends in Spain. I talk to my friends in London. And the UK has a very similar problem as we do. You have people who do want to and people who don't want to. But I speak to my South African friends, Australian friends, New Zealand friends, and you know what? It's not fun wearing these things. It's not fun, but it helps. It helps flatten the curve. Gridwise is in the house. Woo, 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 woo. Gridwise on a Monday. If you guys haven't checked them out, I like these guys. They're genuine. I like their channel. If you haven't subscribed to Gridwise, click on it right now. Here's your opportunity. And give them a shout out. They're trying very, very hard. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You rock. Much love to Gridwise. I'm not joking. Go and check out their channel. Watch their videos. They are actively doing. They are actively making drivers' lives better. They are actively talking about issues. I salute you, Gridwise. Thank you. Mighty Heidi Dream Warrior. I like that name. Mighty Heidi Dream Warrior. 4 words. Mighty Heidi Dream Warrior. How are you? Much love back on the Monday to you and your family. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe over there. Isaac Rico in the house. We welcome you. And again, every single one of the 44 people in here, even if we have some undercover trolls, even if we have Dara K silently looking in, not visible, I wish you, your family, a great week. I wish you nothing but health and safety. And I hope that we all together, not isolated, not like little islands, but together can work this out and happily get to 2021. Let's get 20, let's just erase 2020 from the history books. Hello? Speaking. Oh, Platinum Sign Supply. Yes, I know you guys. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Are you guys staying safe over there? Oh, nice. Thank you. Well, I enjoy your company. I like your products, and I'm sure that in the very near future, I'll be ordering from you again.
Oh, appreciate that. We do have a couple. All right, may I kind of ask what it is that you do? Sorry, just for my notes. Are you an installer? Do you do like decals? What is it that you primarily work on?
I have a few workshops, and what I do is I buy vehicles at auctions, and then I spruce them up, make them look brand new, get them on the road again, and then lease them out to drivers. So just a very simple model, and very often I have to turn to you guys to pretty it up.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. So primarily car stuff. I will make
car stuff. That's it. Car stuff. Cool. Good.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Hey, thank you for introducing yourself, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care.
You too. Bye. All right. Nice sales lady. Shane Hill. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for the wonderful donation. Makes every minute worthwhile. Thank you, Gridwise. That's nice. Between the two, a nice $15 contribution makes, makes the 1 hour 15, the 1 hour 20 minutes worth it. Plus, you get to have fun. Plus, you get to hang out with our house. Plus, you get to hang out with your extended family. Now, countdown to a big day. What is the big day? I'll tell you what the big day is. The 29th of this month. And I truly couldn't believe that I got 291 comments from friends all over the world. 291 comments, because that's my date. I'm getting married during the pandemic, right? So some positive news within the pandemic. So this chica here, that's going to be my bride. This chica belle here, and her name is Laura, and she is my best friend. There it is. Can you see her? So, now the family grows to seven people. So, Saturday, this past Saturday, 6 surfboards in my Escalade. 6 surfboards in my Escalade, and 6 people. Well, thank God Escalades are big, and everything seemed to fit. We've got 6 long surfboards in there, plus 6 people into an Escalade, and then we went surfing. Sherelle, thank you. So this is a good Victor Braverman in the house. How are you? Isaac says, respect to you and your family. Much love back. Slick Nick, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Shane Hill, thank you again. So Nifty 50s Live says, why did you decide to get married during this pandemic? I'm just curious. So, good question. So, if you think this is a big gathering of 50 or 100 people, wrong. I will not throw a party. We will not throw a party until COVID is completely eradicated, even if it means that I have to wait till July 2021 to throw the big party. Q-Boy, ball and chain, he says. No ball and chain in this one, but I appreciate, I like the humor. So that's the first one, that there's no mass gathering until this is completely gone. Until we have the same numbers in New Zealand, where 100 days without an infection. If we can say that in the United States, completely eradicated, then we're going to throw the big party. But 7 people, myself, the lady, 5 kids, on the beach, getting married, all tested, 6 feet apart from the person that conducts the sermon. And to me, I will not, my short answer is, I will not let the pandemic influence or rule my life. I'm above it, right? I'll not endanger people, so I'm not going to throw a big party, but it's a nice, positive thing. And it's the right thing to do. David Garcia, Sherelle, thank you. Gus on the Rock says, congrats on the wedding. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for saying that. Gridwise says, I got to get back to work. Have a great day. Have a great day, everyone watching here. Jay from Gridwise. We send much love to Jay. Please stay safe, Jay, you and the Gridwise team and your family and your extended family and your friends. Sending you much love. Stay safe. Be healthy. So that's it, Nifty 50, right? Some positive, some positivity during trying times. Okay, so my son is in Santa Barbara. They're at an Airbnb, and he says, hey, our Airbnb has chickens. He says, I should take them and bring them home to us. I said, yeah, bring the chickens. Only problem is don't get caught for theft. Funny guy. Pictures, please. Let's see, one more thing. So Jose Almeida says the balls of Dara K. Exactly, the balls of Dara K to come out with this opinion piece in the New York Times, right? Where he says, I am the CEO of Uber. Gig workers deserve better. You guys got to read that, man. You have, just Google it. You got to read it. If you've come late into the feed, do me a huge, huge favor. Read this. The hypocrite, Mr. Double Standard, Dara, walls are coming in on him. And now he wants the help. And now he wants to pretend he's the little angel. Dara with his little halo. Dara can't fool us, buddy. Thank you, Victor. Slicknick says, I have only driven through Santa Barbara once. So far, I haven't driven anyone out there. Santa Barbara is wonderful, especially like behind Santa Barbara. Santa Ynez, Los Olivos, the wine country up there. Beautiful, beautiful. Dara is squirming now, says Abshalecker. He is squirming. And with his crown, he goes, I am the CEO of Uber. Ego, ego, ego. Right? He writes in this opinion piece, like, I am the king. I am the CEO of Uber. And gig workers deserve better. Well, it's a very, very catchy line. And a lot of people are going to read it. All I ask the public and the riders is don't fall for the cheap trick. Look at the 10 years on how the company treated drivers. Look at the way the companies treated drivers during the pandemic. Look at the failure to supply PPE during the pandemic and judge those companies on that. Don't judge them on this opinion piece written by I am the CEO of Uber and you have to listen to me because I am, once again, the CEO of Uber. Payman Ali says, I happened to read Mark 2020 this weekend. It is the parable of the field. It seemed very relevant to what is happening to rideshare drivers. If you could, is there a link to that? Is there a link to that? Bobby J, thank you. So I want to acknowledge Payment Ali for sharing this. I'm going to read this out. He says, firstly, the wedding bells are ringing. Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, Danu, can you get me that little bell on the stairs by mommy's room? Thank you. Chris Bowman's in the house. Good morning, Lynn Buttons. Thank you, and thank you again, Lynn. You have the same haircut as me? Yeah, it's very easy. Just army cut. Without dingling it. So, Payman says he read Mark, was it Matthew 2020 or Mark 2020? Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Loud. Wedding bells are ringing, wedding bells are ringing. Okay, yeah. So Matthew 20:20, a mother's request. Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to Jesus with her sons and kneeling down asked a favor of him. What is it you want? He asked. She said, grant that one of these two sons of mine may sit at your right and one and the other at your left in your kingdom. You don't know what you are asking, Jesus said to them. Can you drink the cup I'm going to drink? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that with us, Paymanali. I read it out for you. I hope I got it right. I put in Mark 2020. I hope I got it right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up to the 1.5 hour line. Wow. I've been speaking for 1.5 hours. Damn. I thought I was going to make 60 minutes. Actually made 90 minutes. So he's sending out this personal letter to everyone. So it's like personalized. So this driver is called Jennifer. I hope this email finds you and your loved ones safe and well during this time. I know these past few months have been difficult. This is Dara, right? Have been difficult, especially for essential workers like you and others on the front lines. COVID-19 has changed the way we all think about work. Yeah, it's also changed the way we think about you, Dara. But more importantly, it has revealed the inequity of a system in which some workers get benefits while others don't. For too long, Uber and other gig economy companies have accepted this as the norm. That needs to change, and we have a responsibility to help change it. We have a responsibility to help create a better future for work. Today, Uber takes its first step towards that future in an opinion piece. Oh, he puts the link there. He puts the link to the New York Times. Look at that. Look at Dara. Today, Uber takes its first step towards their future in an opinion editorial that I wrote in the New York Times. I introduced a proposal that would give you and others who earn through app-based work new benefits and protections while preserving the flexibility you value. To learn more about your proposal, to learn more about our proposal and how we want to reinvent work together, please visit our website. Okay, we will do that. I want to be honest with you. Oh gosh, please do not start with honesty. Please do not start with honesty. It's fine. We got it. Thanks, Payment. It's all good. Matthew 20:20. I read it out, by the way. Your suggestion there. I read it out. I want to be honest with you. It's really hard to digest those words, right? I want to be honest with you. I don't think you've been honest, or Uber's been honest once in 10 years. The changes we're proposing won't happen overnight, but I'm determined to fight for them on your behalf. No, you're determined to fight for Uber. You're not determined to fight for us. Let's be very, very clear. But we cannot be fooled by this little opinion piece. Don't we agree here, everyone? But I'm determined to fight for them on your behalf in the same way I advocated for the President and Congress to include independent workers in the federal government's COVID-19 relief package. That's because you wanted to shift the blame. You did not want to help out. You were hoping that they would bail us out, which they did, right? But did Uber or any of your cronies do anything for us. No, you shifted the blame. You let taxpayers bailed us out. You did not bail us out, Dara. Let's be very, very clear on that one. Very crystal clear. You did not bail us out. Taxpayers bailed us out. It's time to set a higher standard for independent work. Well, you've lowered the bar so to the bottom. So any little bit of raising the bar is a slight improvement. But there's a long road ahead, but Uber will be with you every step of the way. Oh my God, I want to throw up. I want to throw up. There's a long road ahead, but Uber will be with you every step of the way. To get started, your input is crucial to making sure we have a proposal that works for you. Help us better understand your needs and how to fight for them by sharing your feedback on this form. There it is. I'm gonna click that form right now. I clicked on it. Uber's working together priorities, and then you can fill out your suggestion. We're introducing a proposal to help you and others who earn through app-based work receive new benefits and protections while still keeping the flexibility you value. Let's go through this. This is how they're waking up, right? How important or not important is each of the working together priorities? 1, very important. 2, or 3. 1 is very important, right? So the first one is driver directed funds. The second is injury protection. Protection from discrimination. Setting better earnings expectations. Prioritizing your feedback. Investing in lifelong learning. You're not going to learn from them. They say investing in lifelong learning. I mean, from them, I guess if it's us, sure. What would you change about Uber's working together priorities? Wow. Again, I can't do 100 trips. You clearly do not understand the driver nor rideshare. You have to be in the trenches to understand the business. You guys could only read what I say here. Your feedback has been received. I just sent them my feedback. I don't mince words. I say it as it is. I addressed Dara K in that survey. Please pass this on to Dara K. Because if he doesn't meet with drivers, if he doesn't understand drivers, if he doesn't get in a car and do a minimum of 100 trips, he will never, ever understand rideshare. Nightjacker says, just jumped on, he's taking a nap. I'm not taking a nap, my friend. I've been active for 1 hour and 35 minutes. You were snoozing, you came too late for the party. You missed the party, Nightjackers. I'm not taking a nap. I nap at night. So I wish you all an amazing week. Real rideshare stories is there. I see him. Hey, Prof, just saw you were doing a live on Dara's open letter. Bring drivers, gig workers to the table and see what would be good for all to be benefited. That's exactly what I wrote. I said, you have to have the ability to actually meet with drivers on the street. You actually have to show that you're engaged. You actually have to show that you care in order to get respect. Right now, you don't have the respect. He doesn't have the respect. So he's not going to win the respect by posting an opinion piece when all of his actions that he preaches in that opinion piece, he's done exactly the opposite, right? So the road, Nelson Elias is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. So August 29th, August 29th, it's getting louder and louder. That's the noise that Dara is hearing. The wolves are coming in. This is desperate for him to write an opinion piece, for him to try and sway the public, for him to try and sway people, for him to reach out and write these type of letters to drivers. Desperation level 110. He is desperado. We're talking about a desperate man who is trying everything. Another person says, the balls on this Dara COVID-19. It's exactly. The balls on this one, exactly. What a piece of garbage. Victor, thank you for saying that. Real rideshare stories, no trust in him. Look, trust has evaporated. It's gone again and again and again and again and again. If he thinks that drivers are going to fall for this cheap trick, drivers know. Drivers know who the real Dara is. Drivers know how Dara is treating them. You don't have to try and convince us drivers through an opinion piece. You might reach a couple of people in the public. That's why we need to set the record straight, right? So hey, I got to rock and roll. Have a long day ahead. I wish you well. It's Monday. Have an amazing week, my friends. I will see you in another live stream very, very soon. And I can hear it ringing. We should call out the Yes on 22 Facebook page and hope you get. Put that link right here. That link. Put that link to. Can you put the link to the Yes on 2022? Let's shut them down right now. Let's shut them down right now, because that's a paid front. That's a paid front for Uber. The Yes on 22. Anybody get the Facebook page? I like it. Got 36 likes, 36 people in the house. Thank you, Sherelle, for all those pretty colors there. Those hearts, much appreciated. So what we could do is on the Yes 22, obviously we're not supporting these guys, but get in there and mix it up. Get in there, follow them, mix it up. I see my friend Edward Escobar's in there. Obviously he's going in their stealth mode. Get in there and mix it up, right? They have 3,777 members. That's nothing. That's nothing. They have 3,777 people out of millions of drivers on Yes on 22. It's not. No, ladies and gentlemen, the way we, the public, the passengers, the way we exercise, the pressure on Uber is to encourage everyone to vote no on 22. Right? That's the way we put the pressure on them. That's the only way they're going to come to the table if they lose that. Otherwise, they're going to keep on going and keep on continuing with their algorithms and do what they've always done and always showed us for 10 years, right? The only way you pressurize and mount the chips is with the Javier Becerra lawsuit, the California Labor Commissioner, Massachusetts, New York, other states, the UK, no on 22. We got to mount the pressure so that the walls keep on coming in, so they got to cut a deal. We cannot give the rat an out, right? This is giving the rat an out. But go in there and go and tell them. From me personally, the rideshare professor said, we cannot give the rat, Dara, an out. Vote no on 22. Right, get in there. I will do the same. So I'm not endorsing this, quite the opposite, and that's weak. That's weak that they only have 3,777 members. Very weak, right? We got to get in there. Can I make a post there? No, you can't post there, but you can jump into the comments and leave comments in their thing. And I want to make clear, just because I'm in that room, that's not an endorsement, right? I'm in that room to be able to fire up the room, to be able to light fires. That's the only reason why I'm going into. I'm not endorsing Yes on 22. This is where I stand, to put more pressure on gig worker, on the gig worker companies. This here I'm going into so we can light some fires. Okay, that's it. Hit 145. That's a very, very long live stream. I thank you all. I appreciate you. Have a great, great week, everyone. Slicknick says, I'll when I'm on a computer, I'll email the link. I got it. Thank you. Go to Twitter. Vote no on Prop 22. Thank you, Sherelle, for bringing that up. Evans Nogia says, how can I get a private chat with you? I have something I want to share with you. Just text me. Text me. And no chat before I see a link or see where you're coming from. I need to understand what you're trying to pitch. Text me your pitch. Text me your link, and I'll read it. Right? Anyways, thank you very much, everyone. We're ringing the bells. We're ringing your bells. We'll be down in Long Beach. See you in LB. On my way. Got to get in the car right now. Thank you, everyone. Have a marvelous, marvelous week. Appreciate you for being in our house Mondays. Dara, look, nice try, but people aren't stupid, right? People have learned after 10 years that we know what you're up to. We understand how you operate. Have a good one. Happy Monday. Amigos, Freunde, Vriende, friends. Thank you. Dankeschön. Grazie. Merci. Spasiba. Muchas gracias.